All right, so let's get to the NBA here. And hey, on Mondays, our NBA rundown, our full weekend NBA recap is brought to us by Brunt Insurance. Greg Brunt and his team at Brunt Insurance and Financial Services deliver comprehensive insurance and financial solutions tailored to your needs. We're talking all of Florida. Wherever you're listening to ZASLOW Show 2.0, from Pensacola to the Keys and beyond, Brunt Insurance is where I'm sending you. BruntInsurance.com. You can call now. You need to have your home covered, automobile, life insurance, 954-589-2204. I've had my homeowner's insurance through Brunt Insurance for over 10 years now. I'm telling you, I use Greg Brunt. You can trust him and his team because I wouldn't know what to do if I just had to go on Google and put home insurance. The market is really confusing out there. There's a lot going on. Let Brunt Insurance sort it all out for you with their fully licensed staff, and they know the area. So if you're looking for affordable care, aren't we all? And you don't want to be staying up at nights where you're wondering, man, what happened? There's a storm coming through. What if something happens to my home? No. You're going to be covered because you went to Brunt Insurance and they're picking out the coverage that's best for you. Automobile, motorcycle, boat as well. You're looking for the most affordable care. You're making the right call. BruntInsurance.com, 954-589-2204. I use Greg Brunt and Brunt Insurance for my home. That's why I'm sending you there as well, because I know that I'm taken care of. I want to make sure you guys are taken care of as well. Let's get to our weekend NBA recap. I got a few stories here for you, and then we'll get to the Heat here real quick as well. All right, the big story from over the weekend. There's like two big stories from over the weekend. The first one is the Dallas Mavericks are so pathetic. And you know I love it. I'm super biased because I hate Kyrie Irving. And Mark Cuban, massive baby. I mean, we talked about it last week. Protests in the game because his team was confused. Warriors weren't confused. Your team's stupid. Your PA announcer blew it. Your PA announcer got it wrong. Would I have liked the referees to inform the PA announcer that they said the wrong thing? Yeah, but that's not their job. And you know what? The referees are never going to be sympathetic to the Mavericks because Luka cries and whines and bitches the entire game. So they're not going to give any kind of benefit of the doubt to the Mavericks. Anyway, that was not from this weekend. So the Mavericks, who are reeling, the Mavericks this weekend had two games. They had two games against the team with the worst record in the Eastern Conference, the Charlotte Hornets. And what happens? Well, the Hornets beat the Mavericks 117-109. And then yesterday, the Hornets beat the Mavericks 110-104. Now, the first game was in Dallas, and the crowd was booing them, just booing the hell out of them. And Jason Kidd even said after the game, he's like, I would have booed us too. Terrible performance. Well, you know what? So Kyrie Irving was asked about it after the game. And Kyrie gives the old, so what? You obviously want to play well. It's only 5 people on the court that can play for us. If the fans want to change places, be my guest. Got years of work ahead to be great enough to be on this level. You know, that's interesting because Kyrie loves questioning science. I feel like Kyrie's got years ahead to be on that level of doctors and scientists. But there you go. So the Kyrie era in Dallas is in full gear, talking down to the fans. Okay. So they lose there to the Hornets. Then yesterday, they lose again to the Hornets, where Kyrie Irving has a fan thrown out of the game. Walks over there, points out the fan who's sitting 10 rows up, tells the fan, apologize. Oh, that's what I thought, and then walks away. So that's interesting because the fan would not apologize for something he did. I feel like we've seen that story before. Oh, that's right. Kyrie, anti-Semitic videos, won't apologize. That's ironic. Anyway, maybe be a little bit less engaged with the fans and a little more engaged with winning basketball games against the worst team in the Eastern Conference. And then you have Luka. This is how the Kyrie, he is poison. Luka Doncic, after the game, he hates basketball. Kyrie Irving has been there for 1 month and already has Luka Doncic hating his life.
Luka, you guys obviously know how much is at stake in every game. How do you explain coming out this flat to tonight.
I know. So,
What did you think about the fans booing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you think it was deserved?
You guys put him in a spot here, but probably, yeah, this season hasn't been what we think it was going to be. But, we still got time to make up.
What does it take to fix the season, to make things right?
To win games. Simple.
Is this as frustrated as you've been?
I mean, yeah, it's really frustrating. I think you can see it with me on the court. Sometimes I don't feel it's me. I'm just being out there. I used to have really fun, smiling on court, but it's just been so frustrating for a lot of reasons, not just basketball.
What else is going on?
I didn't know how to talk about my private life.
Okay.
Just a lot going on.
Kyrie's been there 1 month. You've never heard Luka Doncic like this. You've never seen him like this. He hates basketball now. His smile's gone. Because you got Kyrie there every day, who is poison. Now, it's not like the Mavericks were some great team beforehand, but they were several games over 500 before they traded for Kyrie Irving. Now, the Mavericks are going to miss the play-in. They're going to miss the playoffs altogether. They're 3 games under 500 now. 36 and 39. Outside the play-in. Kyrie Irving, man. The Mavericks, they let Jalen Brunson walk and then traded Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, and first-round draft picks for Kyrie Irving. This is a bad franchise. It's a bad franchise. And they're going to lose Kyrie in the offseason, which, by the way, will be a good thing. But the fact that you traded all that stuff away for him to then walk away is a terrible thing. And now, you got to worry about Luka being happy, which, I mean, the sirens now. An NBA player, a superstar NBA player, is not happy. We know that. That's the number one thing that you got to worry about if you're an NBA team. Is our player happy? And when a superstar is not happy, oh my God, the sirens start ringing. These NBA, they're so temperamental, these NBA players. So now, the Mavericks, because Kyrie Irving's poison has infected their team, now the conversation is going to shift to Luka Doncic eventually wanting out. That's right. That was one big story from over the weekend. The second one is LeBron James returned yesterday to a loss to the Chicago Bulls. Bulls win 118-108. Patrick Beverley, he said, we're playing the Lakers twice. I'm going to try and ruin their season. Well, he's 1 for 1 now. The Bulls beat the Lakers yesterday. Now the Lakers, they're 9th in the West, 37-38. LeBron did return, came out the bench for just the second time in his career. Here's LeBron after the game on being able to return from his injury.
Did anyone ever suggest surgery?
Yeah, 2 doctors.
Why did you decide against it?
Because I went to the LeBron James of feet, and he told me I shouldn't. I'm not done. Nah, I'm not done.
Are you going to need surgery on this after this season?
I don't know. Right now, I don't need it, so we'll see what happens. I'll probably get another MRI at the end of the season, and go from there. But if I end up having to get surgery after the season, you guys won't know. I don't talk to you guys in the off season, and by the time next season starts, I'll be fine. I'll be ready to go.
What country is the LeBron James' feet based on? What country is
I don't know. I have no idea.
Now, first of all, the obvious joke. All right, so he went to the LeBron James, the doctors. The obvious joke is, why did he go to the second best doctor then? Why didn't he go to the best doctor? Okay, anyway. So, here's also the weird thing, right? That whole sequence is weird. He won't name the doctor. He won't say what country the doctor's in. The whole thing is weird. But here's also where LeBron is just, like, LeBron's weird, okay? It was only 3 days ago where you had that report from all the main NBA reporters. Like, all of them were saying that there was an evaluation at the Lakers facility. Lakers are hopeful that LeBron's going to be able to return before the end of the season. And then you got the tweet from LeBron. There wasn't an evaluation today, and there hasn't been any target date for my return. I'm just working around the clock every day, 3 times a day, to give myself the best chance of coming back full strength whenever that is. God bless you all sources. I speak for myself. And so what happened? He then returned right after. So all those reports were true. It's not like it was a negative report. It was a positive report. The reports were true, and LeBron got mad and then proved all those reports correct. Like, what? Weird, man. Weird. Finally, Saturday night, a major blown opportunity for the Miami Heat. The Heat got their shit kicked in by the Brooklyn Nets, 129-100. A game the Heat led by double figures in the first half, so you essentially had like a 40-some-odd point turnaround in this game. And it's very tough to figure out this team. You get a great win earlier in the week against the Knicks. You got an opportunity for 5th in the Eastern Conference, and they totally kick it. I mean, they blow it. So now the Heat, who did jump into 6th, are now back down to 7. 40-35. They're tied. Same record with Brooklyn right now, 40-35. Brooklyn owns the tiebreak because they swept the season series, 3-0 against the Heat. Now the Heat are 2 back of the Knicks. They play the Knicks on Wednesday. Even though the Heat beat the Knicks last week, it's hard to have any kind of confidence in the Heat right now. But that's kind of how the season's been, where you don't think they're going to play well, and then they do. You think they should beat a team, and then they don't. So who the hell knows with this team? They play Toronto tomorrow night, which is not going to be an easy game either. So the Heat now back to looking like they're going to be a play-in team. And that right there, those are really the big stories from over the weekend. Your weekend NBA rundown is always brought to us by Brunt Insurance. Make sure your home is covered. Car, auto, motorcycle, boat. I told you I get my homeowner's insurance through Brunt Insurance. BruntInsurance.com. Give them a call. Make sure that you're taken care of. 954-589-2204. And as far as the Panthers go, so the Heat and the Panthers, such a similar position. Both of them got to a place last week where, okay, it's been a weird season, but the Heat, we now have a shot at 5th. And they blow it with the loss to the Nets. The Panthers, they've had a shit season. But now, all right, we've got it going. We've won 6 out of 7. We pulled into the second wildcard spot. What do? They follow it by losing 3 in a row. Flyers, Penguins, Rangers. Panthers lost on Saturday to the Rangers 4-3 in a game they led 2-0 after the first. And my big takeaway from those games against the Leafs and the Rangers, Panthers are not even, they're not in the class of those teams. They're not close to as good as those teams. So now the Panthers play tonight. They're at Ottawa. Ottawa, again, hanging on by a thread. Panthers are at Ottawa. The Islanders play tonight, too. They're hosting the Devils. The Panthers are 3 points back of number 2 Pittsburgh, 4 points back of number 1 New York Islanders. It's a must-win game tonight for the Panthers. Must-win game tonight for the Panthers. All right. So that's what we're dealing with locally right now. Nothing as good as University of Miami in the Final Four. FAU also in the Final Four. What a weekend. One of our newest sponsors as well, Broward Meat and Fish. Let me tell you a little bit about Broward Meat and Fish here. One of our newest sponsors is now my one-stop shop for all my groceries. When I say Broward Meat and Fish, you're like, all right, but what about all the other groceries I need? No. You're going to walk in there and you're going to see the largest selection of meat and seafood you've ever seen, but you're doing a full shop. They got everything. You're looking to prep your next meal. You're looking to stock up the fridge and the freezer. A complete selection of groceries, freshly prepared hot food, deli meats and cheeses, wine, so much more. This weekend, so I went to Broward Meat and Fish, picked up a couple skirt steaks. Yep, I posted it on my social media there. Put that on the grill. Me, my wife, my younger son. Awesome steaks this weekend from Broward Meat and Fish. And my wife even said, she goes, are these from Broward Meat and Fish? I go, yeah, it's really good restaurant. It's amazing. I'm telling you, best meat and seafood selection I've ever seen is at Broward Meat and Fish. BrowardMeatandFish.com. Find the location nearest you. There's one right here by me in Pembroke Pines. But the newest location, that's where I got these meats from, newest location, Margate, grand opening was a few weeks ago. Look, Broward Meat and Fish, they're serving that Caribbean and Latin community here in South Florida for almost 30 years. And one of the things I love, they got all kinds of international brands stocked up on their shelves. All the products that remind us of where we came from Jamaica, Haiti, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Peru. You're getting that flavor you love. It reminds you home at Broward Meat and Fish. BrowardMeatandFish.com. Don't forget, pick up that Johnny Cuba picante sauce made with the finest Jamaican peppers. Pick that up while you're there at Broward Meat and Fish. Let's get to big deal or not a big deal. Yes, big deal or not a big deal. You know how we do. Great show today. Big deal or not a big deal. You know how we do. We wrap up every show. If we haven't been able to get to some of the bigger stories, we're able to do it now. If you're dealing with water, mold, or fire damage, that could be a big deal. It may not be a big deal, but let's find out. You call Water Cleanup of Florida 24 hours a day. Call or text Water Cleanup of Florida anytime, 954-900-8635. Also, you go to WCUFL.com. If you're dealing with a leak, let's find out if it's a big deal. 954-900-8635. Big deal or not a big deal? So after FAU beat Kansas State to win the region, clinch a spot in the Final Four, how about K-State's coach went into that FAU locker room, wanted to say what's up to them boys who just sent him home?
Your toughness, your togetherness, your ability to make plays for each other, right? Like the way you communicate with each other. Nobody can beat y'all, right? Nobody can. So just stay together. Don't get distracted between now and then, all right? Stay locked in. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all the toughest son of a guns we played all year long. Just proud of y'all. I'm rooting for you, all right?
I'm going to go big deal. I like it. That's a class move, obviously. And, I don't know about nobody can beat you, but FAU can totally win the national championship. Crazy thing to say. Nothing crazier has ever been said. Big deal or not a big deal? Tonight, Monday Night Raw. It's the final Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania week. Main event tonight, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. This is a big deal. Huge show. I can't wait. Big deal or not a big deal? How about the Cavender twins for University of Miami for the Lady Canes? Haley and Hannah Cavender. Their season ended this weekend with an 8-point loss, I believe it was, to LSU. Watch most of the game. LSU was up double figures for pretty much the entire game. The Cavender twins, though, they're huge in college basketball. I didn't know they have an NIL deal with WWE. And there is talk that when they're done playing college basketball, they could be the next Bellas on WWE. The Cavender twins could be the next Bella twins on WWE. That's a big deal right there. I would love to see. That could be a lot of fun. Finally, one more here for you. Big deal or not a big deal? So Ken Griffey Jr., this has been making the rounds on social media the last couple of days. Ken Griffey Jr. this year, not 20 years ago, this year, is the 4th highest paid player on the Cincinnati Reds roster, making $3.59 million. It's one of those deals like Bobby Bonilla. The Reds are making the deferred payments every year, so everyone thinks this is hysterical. This is not a big deal. This happens probably more than you even realize it. This is not a big deal. And that right there is another edition of Big Deal or Not a Big Deal. Again, if you're dealing with water, mold, or fire damage in your home or business, let's find out if that's a big deal. Call in Water Cleanup of Florida at 954-900-8635. That's a big deal right there. All right. Excellent job. Great job by everybody involved today. Really fun show. Appreciate everyone's hard work. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.